You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
So check it out.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
It's approximately 11:05 a.m. and it's Voices for Friday, March 31st, another fantastic Friday in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. As we say good morning, locally, regionally, internationally, whatever time zone you find yourself in, you're logged on to WINNFM 98.9 on the FM dial for another episode of Voices. My name is Socrates, host of today's program. And the first segments of the show will be dedicated to the legacy and memory of Professor Mr. Randall Robinson, the Black American civil rights activist, lawyer, humanitarian who dedicated his life to the upliftment of his fellow men with specific focus on the injustices faced by black people on the African continent, North America, and the Caribbean, with specific focus on Haiti. Normally, when faced with difficult situations, we always complain that somebody should do something about it. It's always somebody else's job to step up and more or less save the day. Mr. Randall Robinson was one such person who stepped up without being asked and dedicated his life to doing something about it. I have a couple of clips with me. I'm going to ask the engineer to play them just to give us an idea as to what the program is. Ironically, a few weeks ago, there was a discussion on the situation that pertained to the Haitians who had been rescued here and were facing deportation. And one caller calling and said that the Haitians denied God, and more or less insinuation that's the reason why they're always in distress. One person called and asked about the amount of babies they're having and all the different things. And I said, and I've been on record of stating that we, as black people around the world, especially in Americas, have been trained and brainwashed to hate the Haitians. And we today don't even know why. We stigmatize them, we relegate them as second-class citizens, and we want nothing to do with them. Well, I'm hoping that the clips that I'm going to play that reflects really on the life of Mr. Robinson. So it's a twofold issue. He was an educator, and I hope that this will help to enlighten our population, not only through his work that he did, his lifetime legacy in geared to the upliftment of the struggles of black people around the world, but it gives us an insight as to why we as African people need to get rid of all this stigma about a fellow man and show more respect to the Haitians. Mr. Robinson's legacy spoke to that in a very large way, and we can only hope to honor him in learning the true history and the situation of the Haitian situation and really applying that in our daily lives. Mr. Sergeant, can you please play me the first clip?
Entire life to fighting for Africans around the world. Through his organization Trans-Africa, he campaigned for the end of apartheid in South Africa, staging a sit-in at the South African embassy demanding the release of Nelson Mandela and other black political prisoners.
I'll say good morning to Rosemary Donalds up there. Chris Collins, thanks for logging on. We're just queuing up the first clip so we can start at the beginning.
Human rights activist Randall Robinson has died at the age of 81. He dedicated his entire life to fighting for Africans around the world. Through his organization Trans-Africa, he campaigned for the end of apartheid in South Africa, staging a sit-in at the South African embassy demanding the release of Nelson Mandela and other black political prisoners. He was also a strong advocate for Haitians, holding a hunger strike in 1994, protesting President Clinton's policies, including the return of Haitian refugees to a country where they could be killed.
I think the president is a great deal more concerned about the electoral votes of Florida than he is concerned about my life or the lives of hundreds of Haitians, men, women, children, families, people he is consigning to death with his policies.
Robinson fought for black Americans as well, calling for reparations and raising awareness of the systemic inequalities black Americans face due to centuries of slavery and racism. He was a great and good man. Our thoughts are with his family.
Okay. And
but you don't have to pray for me. I'll pray for myself.
While we keep the second clip, we at Win FM want to extend our condolences to his family, his wife, his daughter, his many loved ones. I first became aware of him some years ago when I read his book, Quitting America. I'm not sure exactly the circumstance, but later on I'll explain how I learned to have more respect for the gentleman. Is the second clip, sir? I expect calls from Las Colungi. Okay.
The War and Peace Report.
Very good.
I'm Mimi Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. We end today's show continuing our look at the life and legacy of the human rights leader Randall Robinson. He died Friday at the age of 81 in St. Kitts, where he's lived since 2001. Randall Robinson was the founder of Trans-Africa, played a key role in the launching of the Free South Africa movement, arrested many times at the South African embassy, and pushed successfully for the imposition of U.S. sanctions against apartheid South Africa. Randall Robinson also spoke out for years against U.S. policy in Haiti. In 2004, he helped expose the U.S. role in the coup that ousted Haitian President Jean-Bertrand Aristide, who was flown against his will to the Central African Republic. 2 weeks after the coup, Aristide defied the United States and flew back to the Caribbean, flying into Jamaica. Randall Robinson accompanied Aristide, flew to the Central African Republic, along with Congressmember Maxine Waters and others, picked up President Aristide and his wife Mildred Aristide, and flew back to the Western Hemisphere. I reported on that flight, joining them on that flight, and interviewed Randall Robinson about the U.S. role in the coup.
Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, and Donald Rumsfeld should be ashamed of themselves. President Aristide is the democratically elected president, the last time by 92% majority of Haiti, and he has come home to the Caribbean, where he belongs. He is the president democratically elected of the democracy that they overthrew. America ought to be ashamed of itself, and we are proud of the role we've played in bringing him home to his region, where he belongs and where we hope he will stay.
Randall Robinson later wrote about the U.S.-backed coup in his book, An Unbroken Agony, Haiti from Revolution to the Kidnapping of a President. In 2007, I interviewed Randall Robinson again. He described the day Aristide was ousted.
Later that morning, about 30 American Special Forces troops in full combat gear and 12 or 13 white Chevy Suburbans of the American Embassy surrounded the Aristide home, took positions on the wall around the home, and you could see the red tracer pattern crisscrossing, cross-hatching in the yard of the home, and into the yard came one Chevy Suburban with one of the Special Forces people fully armed, who was attending Luis Moreno of the American Embassy, who walked into the house and told the president, "I was here when you came back in '94, and I'm here tonight to tell you it's time for you to leave." They removed the president, Moreno, and the American Special Forces from his home, took them to the airport. The president, Mrs. Aristide, and Franz Gabriel took them from their home, boarded them on this large, wide-bodied aircraft with no markings, no tail number, only the sort of large flag, American flag, on the vertical tail assembly, and flew off, making their first refueling stop in the Eastern Caribbean in Antigua.
Our guest for the hour, Randall Robinson, just up from St. Kitts, where he has been living for the last 6 years. He's just published a new book called An Unbroken Agony, Haiti from Revolution to the Kidnapping of a President. Let's talk history for a minute, something the U.S. press doesn't give us very much of. To understand the U.S. role today in Haiti, can you go back in time to how Haiti was founded in 1804?
Well, Haiti was the largest piece of France's global empire. It was its great profit center, that slave colony with 465,000 enslaved Africans working there, many of whom had been soldiers in African armies before they were brought to Haiti. And in August of 1789, or 1791 rather, 40,000 of those slaves revolted and started a war that lasted 12 and a half years under the leadership of an ex-slave named, and a military genius named Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. And this army of ex-slaves defeated two French armies. First, the French army before the completion of their revolution, and then another army dispatched by Napoleon under the leadership of his brother-in-law, and then the armies of England and Spain. 150,000 blacks died in that 12-and-a-half-year war, and in January of 1804, rather, they declared Haiti the first free republic in the Americas, because the United States was then a country that held slaves. During the Revolution, Thomas Jefferson said he would like to reduce Toussaint to starvation. George Washington lamented and vilified that revolution. The U.S. imposed an embargo, recognized the new French government, but did not recognize the new Haitian Free Government and imposed a comprehensive economic embargo on Haiti until the Emancipation Proclamation. In fact, France imposed reparations on Haiti in 1825, and the interest that Haiti had to pay in loans that were American and French loans to service this debt to France absorbed virtually 80% of Haiti's available budget 111 years after the completion of their revolution until 1915. It was only in 1947 that that Haiti was able to pay off its debt.
The debt that that was incurred as a result of France not having access to the enslaved people of Haiti.
The Haitians had to pay France for no longer having the privilege of owning Haitian slaves. That revolution provoked the end of slavery in the Americas. And so that's why it is so important that all African people, people generally in the Americas, because Haiti funded and fought in South American revolutions. That's why Haiti is so honored in places like Venezuela by people like Simón Bolívar. Haiti was central to all of this, and we are in Haiti's debt. But it is for that.
Simón Bolívar came to Haiti.
Haiti, and was given arms, and was given men, was given a printing press, because the Haitians believed that anybody who was enslaved anywhere had a home and a refuge in Haiti. Anybody seeking freedom had a sympathetic ear in Haiti. But because of that, the United States and France and the other Western governments, even the Vatican, made them pay for so terribly long. It's as if the anger of it never abated. I mean, you can hear Frederick Douglass talking about it in the late 1800s, about this thing in the American crawl.
The U.S. government didn't recognize Haiti for decades. The Congress, going back to Thomas Jefferson, afraid that the slave uprising would inspire U.S. slaves.
Would inspire U.S. slaves to revolt against him in Virginia and George Washington, and on and on and on. And so they opposed everything that was being done in Haiti to win their freedom.
The U.S. government invaded Haiti in 1915 under Wilson.
And Woodrow Wilson invaded Haiti in 1915, and when a Haitian, Charlemagne Perrault, organized the Caicos soldiers, these farmers, to fight against this American occupation. The Americans killed him and nailed him to a cross, crucifixion style, and stood him up, his corpse, in a public place in Haiti to demonstrate to Haitians what would be the price of any defense against the American invasion. The U.S. has played a terrible role
So
in Haiti.
even as the U.S. and France were at loggerheads after the U.S. invasion of Iraq, because France opposed the invasion, that was 2003. In 2004, they were working together.
Working very much together.
Forcing out Aristide and bringing him to the Central African Republic.
As a matter of fact, in 2003, late 2003, Aristide organized a reparations conference, and the result of which was a request to France that it repair Haiti by repaying Haiti the $21 billion in current money that Haiti had paid in reparations unjustly to France. Dominique de Villepin responded by sending his sister,
the foreign minister of France.
The foreign minister of France, sending his sister to Haiti to tell Aristide that it was time for him to leave. And that's how we have the Western world, France, and particularly the United States, have meddled in Haitian affairs. After the abduction of the president, Bush spoke with Chirac on the phone, congratulating each other about how smoothly the abduction of the president had been carried off by both countries.
Randall, you talked about how when President Aristide was president, before he was forced out, he was supposed to be getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Inter-American Development Bank, I think it was, for health issues.
The loan had been fully approved. It was for $146 million. It was for health issues, for literacy, for things associated with social programs, roads, and some infrastructure projects. The United States blocked that loan. And so, on the one hand, it starved the economy of Haiti. On the other hand, it trained the opposition. On another hand, it armed the paramilitaries. And in the last analysis, American forces invaded and abducted the president.
The U.S. role, how well known is it in Haiti by Haitians?
Well, I think it's very well known in Haiti by Haitians. If it were so well known by Americans, our democracy would work better. The problem is with our democracy. It wasn't ever with theirs. The problem is what our undemocratic, or the behavior of undemocratic behavior of our government means for struggling democracies across the world. That we feel that we, by divine right, can go in and overthrow governments willy-nilly when they are living under leadership of their own clear choice. It's a shameful chapter for Americans, and particularly for this administration.
We have been listening to the voice of the late Mr. Randall Robinson, who died in St. Kitts last Friday. Civil rights activist, lawyer, who dedicated his life to the upliftment of folks around the world, especially the black struggle, whether on the African continent. He was very instrumental in the freedom of the release of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Very instrumental in bringing awareness to the world of the situation in Haiti. Spoke about his involvement with Aristide when he was taken out by the U.S. government. He flew to Africa, brought him back to the Caribbean. He was reinstated. That story is chronicled in one of his books called The Unbroken Agony, of which I have a copy. We'll speak more to this, his life, his legacy, his memory as we return. Having given kudos to our sponsors, we will be right back.
Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time. It's tea time. Whatever time. It's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
Breathe easy. With the holidays just over, and lots of fun spent on holiday supplies, activities and gifts, how are your finances? If your answer wasn't favorable, TDC Financial Services is here to help you breathe easy. Up to $40,000 unsecured to consolidate your loans and even get a little something in your hand. No need to worry. Visit our social media pages or call 465-6516 or 469-5430 to learn more on how you can breathe easy with TDC Financial Services Limited. Terms and conditions apply.
Please note that the TDC Financial Services Company Limited, St. Kitts branch, is now located on Central Street in Bastyr, opposite the Norwich Holiness Church.
What has you so happy? My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it. What? Which network you have?
Flow, now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around. Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
At 28 minutes done after the hour, we are logged on to Voices, and we have a caller as we speak. Caller, good morning. You're live on Voices.
Good morning, Socrates. I really appreciate that educational tape you just put on. It was really an experience for me to learn what happened to Haiti. I always wonder why Haiti had to suffer so much. And that was very inspirational and encouraging to hear the interviews with Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you very much for putting that on this morning.
You're very, very welcome. There is this issue with the lack of education. There was a reason why it was illegal for black people to learn to read. This is one example of the amount of information there that will help to enlighten and uplift us. With knowledge comes the power. So it was instrumental as part of the slavery machinery to deny black people to learn to read. That is why we still today hate Haitians. Not understanding was part of an orchestrated method to deny us the information. Mr. Robinson dedicated his life to, he's actually an educator. He was an educator. And he, of course, in one of his books where he wrote in Quitting America, because of the policies and just the lifestyle, he moved to St. Kitts with his lovely wife, Miss Hazel Ross Robinson, and has been here for the past, roughly 20 years. Teaching from here to, I think it's Penn State, if I'm not mistaken. But the wealth of information that is there to enlighten us as a people of African descent, we just gloss over. He dedicated his entire life to that struggle, and I think he'll have a very strong legacy. We can only honor it by using the education, the information he left us to try to deal with the situation. So I want to thank you very much for your contribution to the program. And are you still there? Okay, the caller would have left, but I do appreciate that. The numbers to call is 466-0989, 662-0989. From the UK, if you wish to engage in conversation, it's 033-344-0065. From New York City is 718-285-6948. From Florida is 305-921-4619. I know there are folks who are listening because they're on the job, they came calling. So we want to say once again, good morning to Rosemary Donald up there in New York. On the job, Chris Collins, you over there in the UK. And it's a great day in the Federation, but of course we have to pause to give honor and respect to the giant that lived amongst us. Quite giant. He was actually taller than I am. But yes, once again we send our condolences to his wife, Hazel Ross, and his entire family. They were in mourning, of course. They would have lost a giant. But I believe they'll gather strength from the legacy he would have left. There's a song about only being remembered by what we would have done. He would have left such a legacy. Congresswoman Maxine Walters is one of the persons who stated that she would be flying in to attend his funeral, which will be held at the Wesley Holy Church on Keon Street. That will be next week, Thursday at 9 a.m. I do intend to attend out of my respect for the gentleman. Some years ago, I wrote a song. I actually have 3 songs written about the Haitian situation, their struggles, and the awareness that needs to be brought to that situation. And the song was called "We're Still Sorry." David Michael wrote a song about his
Hello.
Hello there. Sorry, you're live on Voices.
Yes. Is this Win FM?
This is Win FM. You're listening to Voices.
Yeah. Someone just said that Mr. Robinson's funeral will be at the Wesley Holiness Church. It will actually be at Wesley Methodist Church.
Methodist Church. I'm happy that you corrected me. The Wesley Methodist Church, that's next week Thursday at 9 a.m.?
Yes, on Seaton Street.
On Seaton Street. Okay, that's a Wesley Methodist Church on Seaton Street. And
Yeah.
that'll be, 9 o'clock on next Thursday. And I know many folks who have indicated they will attend. Is this Miss Robinson?
Yes, I just wanted to correct the
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Right? And I'm...
Bye-bye.
Okay, you have a lovely one. So where was I now? Oh, yes. I did a song called We're Still Sorry. David Rudder would have done one called Haiti, We're Sorry. And I actually did one that spoke about the ongoing struggle. And about 2 days after, I was presented an autographed copy of Mr. Robinson's book entitled The Unbroken Agony by his wife. And that was a very humbling experience for me. When I read his book, I realized that without reading his book prior, most of what I had chronicled in the song was there in the book. Very, very humbling for me to be considered by this great gentleman to, here's a copy of the book. I appreciate what you're doing for the Haitians. He would have dedicated his entire life to the upliftment of the struggles, for struggling Africans around the globe. In the region, he focused on Haiti. And we hear the story of what Aristide would have done for his people. The treatment meted out to him by the Americans because of the foreign policy and how they want to keep hating the region. And we as black people, we don't pay attention. But we take the narrative of Americans, Europeans, and even people in the closer Caribbean, that Haitians are this and they're that. They should not be allowed to even breathe. At the time that President Aristide was abducted, kidnapped, taken from his country, there were members of CARICOM. Haiti is a member of CARICOM. And around the region, the heads of government, I don't know what they discussed, but they did nothing. Nothing. Because of the power of those superpowers who can come into a person's country, territory, kidnap their leadership, and install puppet regimes that keeps that country destabilized in a manner that will benefit the interests of those superpowers. It's unfortunate. The Unbroken Agony is a testimony to the struggle of the Haitian people who was instrumental in destroying the machinery of slavery. That's 1791 slave rebellion uprising reverberated across the region and shut down eventually. We give credit to William Wilberforce and this and that. It started in Haiti, the pressure. The domino effect of what happened in Haiti in 1791 makes people like myself today a free person. And we give no credit to that and for those who really, really sacrificed. Mr. Robinson was aware of that and dedicated his life to the upliftment of his fellow men. And I think we can only honor his legacy by doing the same. The numbers to call are 466-0989, 662-0989. Those are local numbers from the UK. We have 033 044 0065. From New York City, we've got 718-285-6948. And from Florida, we got 305-921-4619. So I had a guest this morning. Well, supposed to be in the studio with us to discuss a particular topic. He's not here, so we're going to freelance it. Sorry about that. Just had a little thing on the phone there. which I won't mention on the air. But yes, you're logged on to WINNFM 98.9 for another episode of Voices, and we go to the phone lines as we speak. Good day, caller, you're live on Voices. Good day, caller, you're live on Voices.
Yes, good day, man. How you doing, man?
I'm okay. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, my respect goes out to the gentleman, Randall Robinson, his family, man, for his passing.
Yes. They appreciate that.
Yeah, this guy, really and truly, I haven't really heard much about him, but I've started to do my own personal research, and I realized that he has made such a great contribution, even in the American society. And really and truly, bro, our heroes, our role models, like such persons like this man, are not really getting the recognition. I've made a comparison with him to W.E.B. Du Bois.
Du Bois, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, Du Bois. And the contribution that this man made is no less than those other guys. And so then, therefore, this man needs to be recognized even right here in St. Kitts and Nevis, bro. And, I've traveled to Ghana last summer, and right up around the U.S. Embassy in Accra there in Ghana, W.E., there's like streets names over there after W.E. Du Bois.
Okay.
And that's some great recognition that W.E. Du Bois has gotten over there in a country where he migrated, probably in his latter part of his years. And this man, Randall Robinson, has migrated to St. Kitts because of a marriage or whatever other stuff. And we don't have there's no symbolism in St. Kitts right now in Nevis to show that this man is such a great contributor to our own black history.
Okay.
And now this man is dead, we're praising this man up. Me myself, I haven't really even heard too much about him. And that's really a shame. You know what I mean? We heard of the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's, and we haven't really heard too much about this guy.
This man was instrumental in getting Nelson Mandela released from prison. He was part of it. He went on a hunger strike to bring attention to the situation with Aristide and forced the Americans to take action. I think it was a 21-day three-week hunger strike. Yeah.
And differently than that, man, we need to recognize this man, bro, somehow. We need to. And our heroes, then, we just need to keep our heroes and our great men and women who contributed in the past to our struggles. We got to recognize these people more. But anyway, different than that, I just want to get an update on the Haitian case that was happening there in Nevis. And then also now we heard that there's a boat that, was rescued at sea close to St. Kitts there. We need to kind of put this thing in perspective, man, because this problem with the migration and the trafficking of people, you notice that St. Kitts and Nevis is being targeted, man, and we should not really allow CARICOM, which is the wider region, to have us be isolated to deal with such an issue on our own. Because if so, man, the Prime Minister and the politicians, they're controlling St. Kitts and Nevis, they need to bring this up to to a higher level, to CARICOM, man, because this is not a St. Kitts and Nevis issue, bro. This is a wider region Caribbean CARICOM issue. And if St. Kitts and Nevis is going to sit there and then just let this influx start happening into their country, and there are smaller countries which might not be able to handle this influx. Because like you see, there's been increased incidents, and it's going to keep increasing. So
it's all about human trafficking, okay? And you asked for I think I've been reliably told that the captain of the vessel that was found off the coast of Nevis has been tried and convicted. Now, Beyond that, I'm not sure as to the situation with the passenger of the boat. And the other incidents, the more recent...
That's the update what I need. We need to hear what's happening with those passengers. We need the media or the government to come out and say it straight to the people, because some people are for and some people are against. And this is a situation that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis got to be. They gotta put this up to CARICOM as a proposal and have some type of urgent meetings for them to address these issues with the problem in Haiti and this influx of illegal
But here's what. On the second incident,
to the nation.
I've been reliably informed that the second incident is a little more complex. That these, the person on the boat, I think the 4 deceased now, they are Cameroon nationals. They're from the Cameroon. And there's a storyline that a certain prime minister, not in St. Kitts Nevis, flew them into his country as investors. So the question remains...
Therefore, can I talk for a minute, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. The flight came into Antigua, right, in November of last year. And then the prime minister there, he said that he was going to try to work and give these people residency status.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if now these people, bro, it's like their objective was to get to America. Everybody should by now should know that. We've been hearing the reports. They was going to try to travel to Belize, and then so now because of the trafficking that's going on in the region, they got access to this vessel and make that move. They was heading to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, like the report said.
Okay, we have an next call on the line, but you're correct.
Yeah, okay, but, this thing needs to be handled, man, all right?
Much appreciate your contribution. Okay?
Yeah,
Thanks,
you. Man.
We go back to the phone lines. Caller 11 Voices. Go to caller 11 Voices. Okay, with a missed caller. We have a message from... Okay, caller, are you back? Are you there? Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Hi, good morning, the King.
Good morning, Sir Africa. How about that?
I'm just giving thanks for life.
Beautiful.
I too wish to echo my condolences to the family of Mr. Robinson. I did not have privy to much of the information that you have, but I know he was an advocate for such matters. And from time to time, his wife would have called in and lent her voice. She, in her own right, would have do her research and would have would weigh in on information on a more diplomatic,
quite so
aspect to programs. You would have recognized her voice, the King.
Yes.
From time to time, and I recognized her voice more than once, weighing in on matters like Haiti and the Caribbean and things of that nature. But it's for us. It's for us, those who have ears to hear. How much do we lend our ears to the voices, the few voices? And it's somewhat ironic sometimes, the King, that it would take the passing of a giant for some information of that individual, the contribution, whether in literature or, he have written book, to be dispensed on a widely listened program like, this program and other programs, so that more people will really hear and don't be in awe to the way he dispensed the information earlier.
Okay.
So, yes, the United States is a nation, a strong nation, but they're not flawless, and they would have done things to hurt us for their own agenda. The hegemony
nothing new about that.
Pardon me?
Nothing new about that.
Yeah. And so, yes, I just wish to send my condolences to his daughter and his wife and his extended family in the U.S. And it also, with him having to choose St. Kitts because he married to a Kittitian to live. On another note, you would have seen, I think it's Angela Davis, who would have...
Cuba?
gone to the Cuba to live.
Yep.
Might be differently in terms of their contribution towards the struggle of our people. Some would have come down a diplomatic avenue. Some would have taken a more revolutionary approach. But the struggle is a struggle nonetheless.
All right, thank you.
And so, yes, it's good that you brought this thing out, and we can more appreciate it, because the matter with Haiti, and I listened to Island Tea this morning when, you know, we are a cultural melting pot, and I don't know where my father really originated from. He was born in St. Kitts, I was told. My mother was born in Nevis. But who knows if their parents migrated to these respective islands from other islands, or if it's 5 generations removed from the continent of Africa. We don't know.
What did Peter Tosh say?
We don't know if we are shunning our
What
own
did
blood
Peter Tosh say?
relatives.
No matter where you come from.
Yes.
As long as you have the
Yes.
identity, you're African.
Yes.
Right.
He said it, and it was that Peter Tosh, right?
Peter Tosh, yeah. But we don't have to go pause for
He
a
said
station
some
break.
other things too, because Peter Tosh even sing a song and saying the day the dollar die.
Yes. We do have
Okay,
to
and
pause for
other things
station
you
break,
wanna-
Africa. So if you can get
You're
back in
welcome.
after
Bye.
the news
Thanks,
break,
Philip.
we'll continue the discussion, okay? But we have to pause to give it due to Caesar. So, Mr. Engineer.
Rams is for you and me. Giving back to community. Rams is for you and me. Better for your family. Better service, better price, better value, better choice. Rewarding you for loyalty. Rams is for you and me. Better price and quality.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it.
Yeah, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company. Together we succeed, building our strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
At 11:51, moving up to the midday newscast, we are logged on to Voices. We're discussing the life and legacy of Professor Mr. Randolph Robinson, and we have a question posed by a listener. Please ask Mrs. Robinson if a link will be available for people unable to attend the funeral that can be joined. I think that information won't be forthcoming, but just repeat. Please ask Mrs. Robinson if a link will be available for people unable to attend the funeral. So I think at some point that will be updated. And then we have a contribution from Navigator. He says, I want to describe Mr. Randall Robinson as a modern-day hero. I give him high commendation to the work he has done for black people in the region and throughout the world. And my deepest condolences to his family and friends. That's from the awesome Navigator. And from the or the person who inquiring if there'll be a link available to those unable to attend Mr. Robinson's funeral, so they can join in. Okay? Mr. Robinson, in one of the first book I actually bought, the other was given to me, spoke about the cultural shock of coming to St. Kitts. He spoke about, gotta shut up? It's a call on the line. Call 11 voices. We'll have lost a caller. Okay. He spoke about the attitude and the tourists, the guests in the restaurants towards the local persons, how they were rude to them. He observed that. He was troubled by that. He spoke about seeing kids going to school unaccompanied by parents who were just walking casually along the streets. He spoke about seeing prisoners being escorted by one person with a stick on his side, no guns, no chains, and the school children saying hi to them, hi, good morning, etc. That was like really, really strange to him. Because in the U.S., you see prisoners on the street, there's lots of guns and blah, blah, blah. And there's one person had a stick on the side. Spoke about concerns of taking his kids to school, this whole security issue. And afterward, he realized, no, this is how we do it in St. Kitts. You don't need all that. And so his love and appreciation for the home of his wife grew. And the book that he wrote, in Quitting America, I think it was a very conscious decision made between him and his wife to move and live here. So he taught from here. You know, we have we're in the internet age, so he lived in St. Kitts and still taught at universities. I would see him around town and would speak to people, ask them, do you know who that gentleman is? And try to tell them. Of course, they didn't have a clue. It didn't bother me, they didn't have a clue, I understood it. The last time I saw him was somewhere in the vicinity of the Pelican Mall, and there was some young person there, and I spoke to them about him. I said, do you know who this gentleman is? And I tried to educate them, and they were like vacuous, had no idea, but it's okay. He spoke about being mugged in the U.S. by people that he had dedicated his life to uplift. They had no idea who he was. So when we speak about people who, while they live, making the contributions, he was not a person who were after self-aggrandizement. He wasn't about the fame and the glitz and the glamour. He was very quite tall, very distinguished-looking gentleman. Hi, good morning. He kept on his way. But a giant in our midst, overlooked, unrecognized, nevertheless, for those who know him. Like the fact that Congresswoman Maxine Walters said she's going to fly down to attend his funeral. Roland Martin more or less indicated that, speaks to the respect that he has on the U.S. continent, though somewhat grudgingly given, because people with policies who are designed to hurt others don't want people who will shine the light on them to be given any platforms. So we do appreciate the fact that he lived here quietly, unassumingly, but his work continued. His work continued. And throughout, I believe he was in dialogue through his wife with the various administrations. Not a person to raise his head politically in the local, fray, but his work continued on an international level, and his legacy is one that would have made an impact in the lives of many around the globe. I highlight the fact that his work was instrumental in the release of Nelson Mandela. That's awesome. When it came closer to Haiti, the clip I played this morning spoke about the orchestrated efforts by the superpowers to keep Haiti the way it is today. It's designed to keep it that way. They were never forgiven. As explained, was it Woodrow Wilson or one of those earlier presidents? His name is on the tip of my tongue. The third president of the United States did not want that story of Haiti to influence the enslaved on the American continent. And so it was containment, suppress them, isolate them, because the story of Haiti in terms of that slave revolution was a successful one. And so we were told, do not deal with the Haitians, do not welcome them because they work voodoo and this and that. And you went to church to be told that. So for the lady called some week ago to talk about that, they denied God. They denied God. That's her take as to why the Haitians should be suffering. I hope that person would have been able to listen to the recordings of Mr. Robinson and be educated. That's our problem. For the lack of knowledge, a people perish. For the lack of knowledge, a people perish. And so I think the work of Mr. Robinson can be taught, can be used to educate our people, the next generation. I don't think Mr. Robinson will have any problem with those clips being used in part of some sort of curriculum. We speak about that book on Haiti is called, I forget the name of it, I'm really having a scene a moment. I do have a copy of it. Should be used in the classrooms. To some extent, it's been glossed over, but we, as a black people of the human race, need to look at that and try to, we have to forgive and move on, but never forget what caused the people of Haiti in South Africa and all those to be suffering under those repressive regimes. As I said earlier, we always feel that it's somebody's job to step forward and do something about it. We look to governments. This person stepped forward and did his damnedest to ensure that the agonies of black people, the suppressed around the world, was brought into the focus so attention can be given to it to alleviate the sufferings of our people around the world. We are at the point now where we have to pause for the midday newscast. We can take maybe one last caller if there's anyone there. If not, we go to the midday newscast, and after we return, we'll continue or open the lines for any other topic. Okay, we have a caller. So that's one phone. So we pause now for the midday newscast, and we will be back at the other end.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com. When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Black Sands Music Festival presents Knock Shore Night, featuring international dancehall sensation Shansia. Def Jam recording artist Massacre. Live Saturday, April 8th at Sandy Point, St. Kitts. Get your tickets online now with Jad Cash or contact 869-664-4179 for info. Black Sands Music Festival returns with Shansia.
No girl can't see me and cause problem. Them a man clown for me walk on them.
Massacre.
Start it and them a run help you walk
Plus live bands and local DJs. Knock Shore Night, Easter Saturday, April 8th, a Palm Nations tour event.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the WINNFM Midday News, I am Kevon Brown.
I am Devon Cornelius.
Our top stories. Work on St. Peter's Main Road expected to begin year-end. Invitations for tenders will go out shortly. Prime Minister Drew expresses regret over boat tragedy. However, St. Kitts and Nevis will not be a safe haven for people engaged in illegal activities.
ECSC hosts media briefing on implementation of e-litigation portal in the magistracy.
The people rescued from capsized vessel off the coast of St. Kitts to return to Antigua. Internationally, Finland will become the 31st member of NATO after Turkey's parliament voted to approve its application. Now the details. The people of St. Peter's have been complaining about the state of their main road for some time now, especially during the recent Island Main Road Rehabilitation Project completed in 2022. The road in St. Peter's was not seen as part of the Island Main Road and was not budgeted for separately during the last administration's stint in office. Prime Minister and constituency representative for St. Peter's, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, made it a note to include the much-needed capital project in the 2023 budget estimates, with an expected cost of $10.6 million to complete. People are now anxious about when work on the project will commence, and the Minister of Public Infrastructure and Utilities, Transport et al., the Honourable Conress Maynard, urged citizens to be patient because of the size of the capital project. The minister projected that the project may commence in the latter part of 2023.
Because of the significant size of the project, which is the entire project actually is from the roundabout at the airport right along to, is it Odgies it's called, Mr. Prime Minister?
Correct.
All the way up to Odgies. Although I've asked Public Works to prioritize from Odgies coming downward, this process takes a long time before you can start moving material. And that process would have started this year, now that we've been given a budget for it.
The brevity of the work includes the necessary plans for upgrades and repairs. Experts will assess drainage, sidewalks, infrastructure upgrades, or maintenance for water, fiber optics, electricity, and people whose properties are along the road to understand what is needed for the project, which the minister said would take a matter of months to be done.
This is different from, for instance, some of the paving you will see us do, where the Public Works will just go in, scrape off the top, and relay the foundation, relay the coat of asphalt. That is not what we are going to do with the St. Peter's main road. There are areas that need widening, sidewalks that need adjusting, and so it's a complete plan, and we are going to do it properly. So I just want to urge caution. What we're going to do, though, we're going to assess as soon as our asphalt plant is back up, which we hope will be in another 2 weeks or so. We're going to assess where there are any critical areas that we can temporarily mend until the overall work is done. But know that Public Works is working on it, and bet your last dollar the Prime Minister is going to make sure it gets done.
Another critical aspect affecting the commencement of the rehabilitation of the St. Peter's Main Road is the lack of a working asphalt plant on St. Kitts. Minister Maynard previously reported that the plant was down and needed serious repairs before it could start producing asphalt for road work.
With respect to our asphalt plant, I would have mentioned that the asphalt plant needed had severe damage to it because of the overuse and lack of maintenance over the past couple of years, especially during the construction of the Island Main Road. And so if we used it any further, it will probably have destroyed it. And so it had to be taken out of service and is being presently repaired. We anticipate that another 2 weeks or so is remaining on the repairs for the asphalt plant.
Recently, a stopgap measure was undertaken where asphalt was shipped from Nevis to St. Kitts to do road work in the Market Street area. The minister reported that the success of that option depends on how the asphalt performs after being laid.
It is a very precarious situation because asphalt has to be done in what they call a hot mix. And if the temperature gets too low, then the application on the road will not last. And so we were doing a trial run to see how it is possible that we can make the asphalt in Nevis, get it on the badge, get it to St. Kitts, lay it, and see how that stands up. And so we have done that on Tuesday for the lower part of Market Street as a test run. It has gone successful so far, and we will evaluate the performance of the laid asphalt. So we have that option in the event that we have similar situations in the future.
If successful, the government could use the measure for both St. Kitts and Nevis. The Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, said the St. Peter's Road Rehabilitation Project is a priority for him and the government. The tragic incident at sea involving the passengers of the vessel Jenna B remains a hot topic in the general discourse in St. Kitts and Nevis and Antigua and Barbuda, where they sailed from, especially as the region continues to experience droves of people moving illegally. The Honourable Dr. Terence Drew addressed the matter during the Prime Minister's press conference on Thursday, March 30th.
The recent news relating to the passengers aboard the vessel that ran aground in our waters here is also troubling. The loss of lives is indeed regretted, and our officers are working collaboratively with regional counterparts in addressing this issue.
However, the Prime Minister declared that the individuals tasked with the responsibility of protecting the borders of St. Kitts and Nevis would continue to do so. He expressed gratitude to the agencies that were instrumental in saving lives.
Notwithstanding, our border security agents will continue to be vigilant in protecting our borders and will not provide safe haven for those who are engaging in illegal activities. And what had been discovered is that there are persons engaged in human trafficking. I think this is the first time that this would have happened with persons of this nationality. And therefore, I want to commend the Coast Guard and others who would have saved lives, irrespective of how they got here. Each life is precious. We wish, therefore, to express regrets to the families of those who have succumbed to this tragic event at sea.
Meanwhile, Dr. Drew addressed the ongoing situation involving 14 Haitians who are seeking asylum in St. Kitts and Nevis after a vessel illegally carrying them docked in the Federation's waters almost 2 months ago.
There was a vessel carrying mostly persons of Haitian descent. That vessel was captained by those, of course, who are involved in human trafficking, charging persons up to $5,000 and more to go from one island to the next. That is a crime. They were taken into custody. They are being treated with our good hospitality at the cost of the government. I think it's costing us at least $1,000 per day. This is not a cheap undertaking, which includes medical checks. And one of the persons is pregnant, and we had to make sure, of course, that she sees an obstetrician and get the best care that she can get in terms of medication, nutrition, and so forth. So we are really carrying this financial burden, but it's our commitment to treat our Haitian brothers and sisters with the utmost humanity.
The case involving the Haitians is still before the court, and the country awaits the final judgment. Drew said the illegal movement of people throughout the region was one of the critical points of discussion at the recent Regional Security System Council of Ministers meeting held in Grenada on March 22, 2023.
Media practitioners were on Thursday, March 30th, briefed on the implementation of the family module of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court ECSC e-litigation portal. Speaking at the media briefing was ECSC Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, the Honorable Dame Janice Pereira, who spoke about the implementation of the e-litigation portal in the magistracy.
So we felt it is time now to begin that implementation across the OECS in relation to the Magistrates Board, because we speak about integration of the magistracy, training of the magistracy, building capacity for the magistracy, like any other judicial officer within the region. And this forms a vital part. We know, and you've heard it said here this afternoon, that the bulk of cases, they come close to the magistracy, not the High Court. Yes, many come, because we've seen a growing number of cases throughout. But if it's growing in the High Court, it means it is also growing across our magistracies.
Benefits of the e-litigation portal include reducing scheduling conflicts for court hearings, enhancing online search capabilities of cases, increasing cost savings associated with printing and other administrative duties, and promoting transparency as document submissions are automatically dated and time-stamped. The e-litigation portal was officially launched in November 2019 and has introduced electronic court filings, electronic case management, billing collection, and court scheduling. Users of the secure web-based service can access the e-litigation portal anywhere and at any time using a smart device. The portal uses software developed by Crimson Logic, a company based in Singapore, and is a significant upgrade to the current system that the court uses. Also in attendance at Thursday's media briefing was senior officials from the ECSC, as well as the Minister of Information Communication Technology, Conris Maynard, who attended on Attorney General Garth Wilkins' behalf, and members of the St. Kitts and Nevis Judicial Service and Legal Fraternity.
In regional news, the people rescued from capsized vessel off the coast of St. Kitts to return to Antigua. That report and more from Carib Update.
14 West Africans and 2 Antiguans who were rescued after an ill-fated vessel capsized on its way to St. Thomas and are now in St. Kitts will be returned to St. John's soon, officials say. The 16 people are being processed by authorities in Basseterre. Antigua's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says his government will pay for their repatriation.
I don't want to preempt my colleagues in St. Kitts Nevis, but we have already signaled that we are willing to accommodate them. And if we have to assist with the burial as well, those who pass.
Antigua's Police Commissioner, Ashley Rodney, says on the face of it, it appears to be a case of migrant smuggling, stating that they will pursue people suspected of being involved in the case.
So we have the legislation that we can pursue those matters before the court where anyone is involved in migrant smuggling.
Antigua's opposition leader, Jamal Pringle, is meantime calling for a commission of inquiry into the circumstances that brought African migrants to Antigua. He said an inquiry is now more urgent in the wake of Tuesday's tragedy in which more than a dozen West Africans apparently lost their lives at sea while seeking to make a treacherous boat journey to the U.S. Virgin Islands. Pringle said there must be a look into Antigua Airways that brought the migrants to Antigua. Prime Minister Gaston Brown announced last week that Antigua Airways is defunct. Prime Minister Brown accused the opposition of bluster over the issue.
And I know opposition parties will always be opposition parties, but I don't see the need for the type of hostility, the political spins, and the bluster about blood and hands and all kind of foolishness. I mean, that's just foolish talk. And it's a serious issue involving people, real people, human beings.
A woman who was born in Grenada might be considering running for mayor in the Canadian city of Toronto. News reports in Toronto Thursday said Selena Cesar Chavanes could be a contender for the top job in the city. 48-year-old Cesar Chavanes is a former member of parliament in the federal government. She then went on to serve as parliamentary secretary to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau from December 2015 to January 2017. Selena Cesar was born in Pomrose, Grenada. Toronto City Council passed a motion Wednesday declaring the mayor's seat vacant, officially kicking off the process of a by-election in June.
We now bring you these international reports.
The Turkish parliament has voted to back Finland's application to join the North Atlantic Military Alliance. Finland ended decades of military non-alignment and decided to join NATO last May following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg says it's a positive step forwards.
I welcome the vote by the Turkish Grand National Assembly to ratify Finland's membership in NATO. All 30 NATO allies have now ratified the accession protocol. And I have just spoken with President Sauli Niinistö to congratulate him on this historic occasion. Finland will formally join our alliance in the coming days. All allies agree that the rapid conclusion of the ratification process for Sweden will be in everyone's interest. I look forward to also welcoming Sweden as a full member of the NATO family as soon as possible.
It's Jens Stoltenberg there. Donald Trump has become the first former US president to face criminal prosecution. The charges relate to falsifying business records to hide a payment to a porn star, Stormy Daniels, before the 2016 election. In a statement, Mr. Trump said the Democratic authorities in New York were doing Joe Biden's dirty work, accusing them of interfering in next year's presidential election. John Sudworth reports.
The massed ranks of the media say it all. Donald Trump's provided plenty of big moments in American politics, but few bigger than this, his own imminent arrest. The news was confirmed in an angry statement from the former president, blaming his political opponents. The Democrats, he said, have done the unthinkable. The case against him centres on porn star known as Stormy Daniels. Ahead of Trump's 2016 election win, she was paid $130,000 to stop her going public with claims she'd had an affair with him, something he denies. His fixer and lawyer, Michael Cohen, was convicted over that payment, along with other charges, back in 2018. Since out of jail, he's been giving evidence to the grand jury that's now decided charges are warranted.
This is not revenge, right? What this is about accountability. I don't want to see anyone, including Donald Trump, indicted, prosecuted, convicted, incarcerated, simply because I fundamentally disagree with them. This is all about accountability. He needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds.
The big question is whether Mr. Trump knew about the hush money. Although his organisation ultimately footed the bill, he's always denied any knowledge.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Unless he refuses to comply, at some point in the next few days, Donald Trump will have to come here to New York. He'll be booked and fingerprinted in the building behind me there, have the charges read to him and enter a formal plea in front of a judge. It's an extraordinary moment, the first president in US history to be arrested.
Ensuring that when a Manhattanite...
The charges have been brought not by federal prosecutors, but by the New York Attorney General, Alvin Bragg, a Democrat, now a key figure in the Trump campaign's claim that this is politics, not justice at work. As he eyes the White House again, Donald Trump may see electoral advantage in all this. His opponents, though, will be hoping that a man who's long overridden the usual rules of the political game is about to be brought down with a bump. John Sudworth, BBC News, New York.
Well, I'm joined now from Wyoming by Amy Edmonds, a Republican former state legislator. Amy Edmonds, thank you so much for staying up so late to talk to us on the BBC. What do you make of this moment?
Well, it's a sad moment for my country. As I heard earlier, this is breaking a 230-year precedence in the United States. To have a former president criminally charged is an amazing thing and a sad thing in a country that is also very deeply divided. So I think it's going to be really important for all Americans to watch very carefully how this trial plays out.
And you are saying this as a Republican and as somebody who has voted for Donald Trump twice.
Yes, true. Someone who also would never vote for him again. But I am saddened to see it, mainly because most of the legal minds in the country have said fairly clearly that this indictment most likely will not lead to an actual conviction, which means it's simply going to give former President Trump more time on television, more time to convince his very, very loyal followers that he is a martyr, which is not going to bode well for the Republican Party.
Right. I wanted to ask you, what do you think this does to Donald Trump, not in legal terms, but in opinion terms? The words we've heard from him already are very strong, accusing the authorities, the Democratic authorities in New York, of doing Joe Biden's dirty work, accusing them of interfering in the presidential election next year. How much sympathy do you think he will get for that? And how much will that affect the polls?
I mean, I think he'll get sympathy. I think he'll get quite a bit. The folks that follow him very, very strongly, this is not going to change their minds at all. I think for a lot of fair-minded Americans, and particularly Republicans, they do see this as a bit of a witch hunt. These are old charges. We've known that other prosecutors have refused to bring them forward to a grand jury. They did not believe they had enough evidence. Nothing that we've seen thus far shows that the current prosecutor really has the goods, shall we say. So I think all of this just leads to more folks feeling sympathetic to the former president.
Now, we don't know what the specific charges are going to be. We think we're going to hear those details on Tuesday. In terms of public opinion, there was a poll that came out just a day before this news, and it said that most voters think indictment should disqualify Donald Trump from the race, the 2024 race. What do you think of that?
I would agree. This indictment, the indictment of his own behavior on January 6th, there's a list of things myself as a Republican voter believe disqualify him from running.
What, as a Republican voter, do you want to happen to your party now?
You know, I would like us to get back to being the party of Ronald Reagan. I'd like us to get back to the party of honorable, decent folks running for office, speaking the truth, and unifying the country, not dividing it, not playing us off of divisive politics, but unifying it.
An out-of-control wildfire scorches Spain's northern coast. The rough terrain, high winds and low humidity are hampering firefighters battling the flames. Spain's wildfire season started early this year. In the eastern Valencia region, more than 4,000 hectares of forest were destroyed last week, and 1,500 people were forced to abandon their homes. They've only just been allowed to return.
It's a feeling of joy for all of us. Coming back home is fundamentally a very important thing. We love the community. We belong to the community, so you can imagine how relieved I feel.
The UN's Environment Agency says climate change will spark a 30% increase in severe wildfires by the middle of the century. In Spain, they're already dealing with the fallout. The country's wildfire season now runs from spring to autumn, not just during the summer. And Spain's meteorological agency says temperatures in March have been up to 14 degrees higher than normal. It's a new reality people are struggling to adjust to.
The authorities have brought us a bottle of water because they have told us that we cannot drink from the taps. All the food in my freezer is defrosted. It's bad. Everything is ruined.
With warmer weather forecast in the weeks to come, scenes like this are likely to play out again for many more months. Victoria Gatenby, Al Jazeera.
Oscar-winning actress Gwyneth Paltrow has been cleared of all fault for a skiing crash at a resort in Utah in 2016. A retired optometrist, Terry Sanderson, was suing Paltrow, claiming that the collision left him with life-changing injuries, but the jury decided he was 100% responsible. Aruna Iyengar has this report.
Gwyneth Paltrow sat calmly in court and made no reaction as the jury delivered its verdict, clearing her of any responsibility for the crash that took place on the slopes of Deer Valley 7 years ago.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No. Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes.
Terry Sanderson, the man who had accused her of skiing recklessly and then leaving him with life-changing injuries, simply bowed his head. Outside the court, his disappointment was clear.
I brought absolutely the truth to the accident, and no reason to wander from that, and I still won't. And I brought it for that reason, because I wanted to see if justice prevails in those situations, but it becomes character assassination, doesn't it?
In a he said, she said trial live-streamed to the world that prompted a social media circus, his lawyers had tried to paint a picture of an entitled celebrity with a lack of care for the little people. Miss Paltrow's legal team presented him as an elderly man trying to hold her accountable for the unwanted effects of ageing. The jury took just 2 hours to decide it was Mr. Sanderson who was responsible for the collision. The judge ordered him to pay Miss Paltrow a symbolic $1 in damages. A few words to Mr. Sanderson as she left. He's now liable for legal fees that will likely run into hundreds of thousands. Aruna Iyengar, BBC News.
You are listening to the Midday News on WINNFM 98.9. The headlines?
Work on St. Peter's Main Road expected to begin year-end. Invitations for tenders will go out shortly. Prime Minister Drew expresses regret over boat tragedy. However, St. Kitts and Nevis will not be a safe haven for people engaged in illegal activities.
ECSC hosts media briefing on implementation of e-litigation portal in the magistracy.
The people rescued from capsized vessel off the coast of St. Kitts to return to Antigua. Internationally, Finland will become the 31st member of NATO after Turkey's parliament voted to approve its application.
Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News.
The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Black Sands Music Festival presents Knockshore Night, featuring international dancehall sensation Shansia. Def Jam recording artist Massacre. Live Saturday, April 8th at Sandy Point, St. Kitts. Get your tickets online now with Jad Cash or contact 869-664-4179 for info. Black Sands Music Festival returns with Shansia.
No girl can't see me and cause problem. Them a man clowns for me walk on them.
Massacre.
Start it and them a run help you walk
Plus live bands and local DJs. Knockshore Night, Easter Saturday, April 8th. A Palm Nations tour event.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Dalil Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured. Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortspur's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortspur's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortspur's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
Hey, it's a very familiar face. It's about 12:41, and we're back into the second segment of today's presentation of voices, and we're told there's a call online. We go straight to the phone lines. Call 11 voices.
Yes, greetings, brother Socrates.
Man, let me go local with you, man. Where you been?
Rascolonji.
I know. Welcome to the program, sir. How are you doing?
Yes, give thanks,
Beautiful.
It's good to be here to, salute brother Randall Robinson, a real icon
Certainly.
who lives amongst us, but our people don't know who he is and what he represented. But I'm glad that you played the clip on Haiti, because a lot of propaganda have been spread about Haiti, and they don't understand the historical development of Haiti. As Brother Randall Robinson really said, that Haiti was the one that gave the blow to the enslavement of our people in the Western world.
Quite
you
so.
know what Haiti represents. And I'm saying to you and to our people, my brother, is that what is taking place in the world today, all the things that are going on, the imperialist forces are behind it, and our people have to understand that. So much propaganda have been spread on our people. Let's take Haiti for an example. Our people don't know that Haiti had to pay France reparations. The United States government kidnapped President Aristide. I said that many, many times. They don't want to understand that. People don't understand the situation that Haiti is in. It's because of the United States. And they want to make an example out of Haiti that other countries in the Western world don't do what Haiti has done. So, at this particular time, again, I'd just like to give condolences to his family and the great work that he has done, my brother. Because, Brother Randall Robinson was a giant among us, a real icon. He put his life on the line for the liberation of our people. And I'm saying to our people, in a very sincere way, at this particular juncture in our development, brothers and sisters, we have to get back the spirit of the Haitian Revolution in order for us to move forward in the 21st century. We who are citizens of the Republic of New Africa, the whole Western world here, where black people who was formerly enslaved, we consider it the Republic of New Africa. And we are saying to our people here in the Federation and throughout the Western world, it's time to liberate the nation, the Republic of New Africa, in the name of Brother Randall Robinson, because he has become an ancestor now, and we are saying that he leaves us a positive legacy for us to carry on the work that he has left.
That is correct.
So the responsibility is upon us. You want to say something?
Yeah. What do we do with it? What do we do with his legacy? Yes, that's the question. He has left it. What do we do with it?
We teach it to our people, teach it to our youths, teach it to our children, and to all of the citizens of the Republic of New Africa. Somebody asked me today, what has he done for St. Kitts? I said, no, not what he has done for St. Kitts. It's what he has done for our people. You see, the Europeans have put us in a situation where we only think of ourselves. We don't think of all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We think as individuals. We don't think as a collective. And that's the problem that we have found ourselves in. So we are saying that we have to broaden that scope and think of ourselves as a nation, as a whole, that we have a common oppressor, a common exploiter, and a common discriminator, as Malcolm said. Because all what is taking place right now in the world, with this shift, what is taking place, we're moving from a unipolar world to a multipolar world, is that the forces of oppression is doing everything to keep us in that situation, and it cannot happen because we see what is taking place. Look what has happened. The ICC, the International Criminal Court, have charged Putin, right? And what I'm saying is that nobody charged Hillary Clinton, nobody charged Obama, nobody charged George Bush, nobody charged Tony Blair, and these people have committed numerous crimes. Take Iraq, over 1 million people killed by the imperialist forces. So we are saying to our people, it is time for you.
Don't forget Gaddafi.
For us. Say that again?
Don't forget Gaddafi.
Oh, yes, Gaddafi. Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama was responsible for the death of Gaddafi. I'm glad you raised that. You see, because sometimes we can't remember everything. So what I'm saying to our people, these people are criminals. And let us not forget that the United States government overthrew the government in Ukraine in 2014. So I'm saying to our people, on behalf of Brother Randall Robinson, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do because Brother Randall Robinson has left us a legacy, and we have to move forward.
But here's what
and remember, we could take examples from the anti-apartheid struggle.
Yeah, I was going to go to that because at the time when Margaret Thatcher, Bush, and those guys and Dick Cheney would not authorize sanction against South Africa to free Mandela, it was Randall Robinson, in the midst of all that, who was bringing attention and agitating. So he played a monumental role in the release of Nelson Mandela, which the world celebrated, but people like Thatcher and the Bush and those guys and Cheney those days was against it.
But Ronald Reagan, I'm glad you raised that. Ronald Reagan was the president at the time. And, well, the anti-apartheid struggle, I was a part of that in New York, and Brother Randall was heading it in Washington. Brother Elombe Brad was very instrumental also. A lot of people don't know about Brother Elombe Brad, but he was one of my teachers. I had several. But Brother Elombe Brad was spearheading the movement in New York City, and Brother Randall was doing it in Washington, D.C. But what is unique about Brother Randall, he went on a hunger strike.
21 days.
He put his life on the line to raise these issues about the anti-apartheid struggle. And don't let us forget, as Brother Malema said, we know who is our friends, right? That the Battle of Kuta Carnival in Angola, right, was the quintessential battle that really destroyed the apartheid regime with the worldwide movement that our people engage in. So what we are saying now is that in this dispensation, our people have to form that kind of solidarity and alliance with one another in order to trample Babylon again in this dispensation. So what we are saying, brother, is that the struggle is real. War is being waged on the oppressed people of the world, and African people in particular. On behalf of Brother Randall Robinson, we have to take a stand to trample Babylon system.
Well
you
said.
Want to say anything at this time?
Well, the thing is, many of us do not identify as Africans. So the question posed to you, as to what did Randall Robinson do for St. Kitts. That's from a mindset that we as Africans don't connect with the motherland. We don't identify with the Haitians, so he did nothing for us.
But not only that,
That's the sad
we don't even
reality.
identify with ourselves. We don't know who we are.
Correct. We were given labels.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying again, on behalf of the Republic of New Africa, the African Consciousness Movement, we send heartful greetings and condolences to our sister Hazel Ross Robinson and her family and the other kids that Brother Randall had. So we are saying that we'll be there on Thursday to the funeral to pay respect to Brother Randall. So at this particular juncture, my brother, you know, one love, give thanks. What Granny say? Reparations by any means necessary. And he was a strong advocate of reparations also.
Yes, he was.
So there's a lot of things that we have to learn about.
Do you see any scenario? Do you see, before you go, do you see any scenario where his legacy, his teachings can form part of our local school curriculum?
But not only his teachings, but our whole story, our African story. You know, these things have to be, because people don't even know that he lived here. Let me give you a story, right? Years ago, when he first came to St. Kitts, when Moonlight was still alive, but Moonlight not have him, so he was walking in the circus. So I said to Moonlight, we was on the benches in the circus, I said, Moonlight, that's Brother Randall Robinson. He said, where he is? So I introduced Randall to him. You know what I'm saying? And then another occasion, again, when we talked, I told him that, you know, he did an interview on Nightline with Ted Kaposari. And, you know, he was debating Pig Water, the foreign minister of under apartheid at that time for the apartheid regime. And Pig Water called him a communist. So I told him that I had a copy, you know, a video copy of the program, and he said, we'd like to have one. So I gave it to him, and I still have one also. So what I'm trying to show you is a lot of historical things have happened that our people don't even know about. But like I said, I was engaged in the anti-apartheid struggle, so I know these things, you know. So it's our work to impart it to our people. That's all I was saying, and there's a lot of work we have to do because Babylon is getting desperate. We are facing nuclear war right now in terms of what is going on in Ukraine. So my brother, I just like to say, give thanks, one love, you know, and the struggle continues. One aim, one people, one destiny.
WINNFM values your contribution. It's about 12:51. I think after that mouthful from Vasculanji, we'll pause to give respect to our sponsors. And we'll be right back.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
It's 12:53 on a Friday. You're logged on to Voices, and we have a call online. We go straight to the phone lines. Caller 11 Voices. Go to caller, you're live on Voices. We may have lost that caller. 662-46, sorry, 466-0989 gets you in the conversation, and we are back. Call you live on Voices.
Yes. Greetings to you, Socrates, in Jesus' name. He who is the only Savior of his chosen, his elect sinners only, from their sins and from hell, and he who is the second person of the eternal Trinity, Jesus, that is.
Welcome to the
now,
program.
First of all, I would like to say, I send my sympathies and condolences to the family of Randolph Robinson, to his family.
Randall, not Randolph. Randall, not Randolph.
Yeah, Randall.
Yes, sir.
Randall. Yeah, Randall Robinson, yes. Yes, so I would like to send my sympathies and condolences to his family and friends. Yes. Now, first of all, secondly, I would like to say, with all due respect to Mr. Randall Robinson, I think, like most people, they miss the truth concerning the source of our problems, including Haiti. The source of Haiti problem, like other countries, were their disobedience to the word of God. And with all due respect, Haiti, at the beginning of the revolution, in an occultic ceremony, asked Satan to give them victory. And God allowed Satan to give them the victory, but punished them afterwards. I believe for that, and that's why they continue to be doing so bad and suffering today. Now, when you read the Bible, God tells you he will punish you if you do not keep his commandments. And Haiti is no exception. And that's why all the suffering in the world today, including where Haiti is concerned, and worse is going to come, because there's going to be I believe there's going to be a terrible financial disaster coming because of our disobedience to the Bible. But Mr. Robinson, like many others, they did not see this truth. And so they just focused on the physical and did not went to the spiritual. And you cannot solve problems unless you deal with the root issue, which is spiritual, our disobedience to the word of God. Now, it is my understanding that I have heard that Mr. Robinson was an atheist. Well, I hope
hold on, please. Do not say things you cannot substantiate. Even though you be your understanding, right? The station entertain all views, so I love you to express your views about the cult thing in Haiti. I don't buy that, and kids are listening. But because we entertain all views, don't go to speak to the man religion that you do not know about. You don't know this to be a fact. So don't say that. Don't say in his name about he was an atheist. Do not do that.
No, I said that's what I heard.
But you don't repeat things that you hear. You're a responsible person.
Al Sharpton knew him good. Al Sharpton knew him very good. And
it's really sad that it's really sad with all the positive things that we're saying about this man's contribution to humanity. You want to stain it that he was an atheist? Come on, man. We can do better than that.
No, Al Sharpton knew him good. Al Sharpton knew him good. And Al Sharpton was in a conversation with the atheist. What his name again is?
Was he entitled to his beliefs?
Yeah, well, yeah, he believed what he believed.
So why is it a problem for you?
No, all I'm saying is that if that is true, I hope he repented before he died. All I'm saying, if that was true, I hope
that's
he repented
between
before he
he and his maker or whatever belief system. It's up to him. But please do not stain the dignity of his name with that, please. Please do not do that.
Yeah, that is what I wanted to say concerning that issue. But no, concerning the apartheid in South Africa. No, a lot of people do not know. But the Queen also fought against apartheid. And
which Queen fought against apartheid? When she allowed, you talking about Elizabeth?
Yeah, Elizabeth.
When she allowed Ian Smith to run rampant in South Africa? How could she fight against apartheid? You forget Ian Smith?
No, I didn't forget Ian Smith, but she was against Margaret Thatcher in not sanctioning South Africa. and she fought Margaret
She did
Thatcher
nothing
to put sanction on South Africa. She did that. That's what it became between she and Margaret Thatcher. And the Queen
you credit the Queen with fighting against apartheid in South Africa. But Randall Robinson, who dedicated his life, went on hunger strike to bring attention to alleviate the problem, you say he's an atheist. And he didn't believe this. Come on.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with fighting apartheid in South Africa. That ain't got nothing to do with fighting apartheid in South Africa.
Correct.
What I'm saying is that what I'm saying, but what I'm also saying is that I agree with Chief Buthelezi that
Queen had more blood on her hand globally. You're going to single out a dispute between she and Margaret Thatcher to bring it to the world to say, well, she fought against apartheid. What did she do against Ian Smith?
What she do against Ian Smith?
Yes.
To the best of my knowledge, she didn't do anything against Ian Smith.
Correct. So when did she fight against apartheid?
Yeah, to the best of my... But all I'm mentioning, I'm just mentioning a fact that she fought Margaret Thatcher to put sanctions on South Africa, irrespective of whether she did anything or not to Ian Smith. I'm just mentioning a fact. So it's all kind of people who fought for sanction on South Africa.
The British public,
Robinson, the Queen of England,
the British public,
and many others
came out in
as a matter of fact, but as a matter of fact, one of the Queen's best friends was Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela had the highest respect for Queen Elizabeth because of what she did. He had the highest of respect for her.
Nelson Mandela showed a humanity when he decided to do away with all the bitterness that people expected from him. Right? He was an exemplar of what a human being should be, who went through all those struggles and what they expected from him. He